Mr. Brodski.
Oh, come in, Mr. Brodski. I've been waiting for you.
Fortunate, isn't it? Yes, indeed. Back to the engine for you, Jarvis. I should appreciate it, thank you. Don't you work. Ah. Ah. No, thank you, my dear Jarvis. I like it near me always. Gives me confidence.
Well, that's one thing you don't need, Thorndyke. I never met anyone so damn confident in my life. I don't know what you'd have left your box of tricks at home for once. How on earth can you need the thing on this trip?
One hopes, my dear Jarvis, one hopes. Yes, on time.
We're going to have the compartment to ourselves anyway.
Thank goodness for that. I'm looking forward to a quiet journey so that I can read my newspaper in peace. Never seem to get time these days.
Well, you shouldn't be so damn successful. And you wouldn't be so busy.
Excuse me.
Yeah, let me help you.
Thank you. Hey. Run. I'm getting cold, run. My heart. Bang.
Your umbrella, sir?
Oh, thank you. You see, I forget. English trains don't run on time. It's wonderful, but I miss that so often. Don't you find it?
Well, no, not really.
No, well, you see, you're used to it. It's different for me. You see, I'm not born in this country.
Really?
No, I lived here 15 years already, but tell me, where do you think I am from, huh? Mr. Excuse me, what is your name?
Well, it's Jarvis, actually. Dr. Jarvis.
Doctor! Ah, how do you do, sir? Brodski, I'm from Hagen-Gard. Ah, how interesting. So tell me, Doctor, where do you think I am from? You never guess. But still, come on, try.
I'm sure I've no idea.
Try, go on, try.
I really couldn't tell you.
Put about your friend. Let him try.
Warsaw, Poland.
How do you know this?
Because I know you, Mr. Boscovich.
You know me? Hi, Dr. Thorndyke.
Good evening, Mr. Boscovich.
Well, of course I remember you. But what a thing you should remember me. The Garden Diamond robbery.
Right.
You know, my cousin was losing a fortune until you told me, well, of course. You remember you down there. You know, people, very important people, they speak very highly of you.
I'm very glad to hear it.
It's wonderful to meet friends, no? Especially on a train. The time passes so quickly when you are talking and laughing with friends. Don't you think so, Doctor?
Oh, yes, quite. Absolutely. Where is it?
Let me take your bag, sir.
No, thank you. I prefer to keep it with me.
Your coat. Otherwise, you won't feel benefited when you go, will you?
I'm here on business, Mr. Hickler, because of your letter. I do not have very much time. I'm taking the boat train for Harwich.
But there's over an hour yet, sir. And as you know, the station is only 10 minutes walk away. Do sit down.
Very well.
Can I interest you in a glass of wine?
Thank you.
You know, I live very simply here. Just a village woman to clean and cook. I don't know if you've eaten.
I would take only a little wine, thank you. I ate in London before I started out.
Oh, but surely that was some time ago. A biscuit, perhaps.
Oh, very well, a biscuit.
They're country biscuits. Oatmeal. My woman. That's to say, the woman who cleans, she makes them for me. She won't give me the recipe.
Well, they're excellent, excellent.
I'm so glad you like them. And is the wine to your taste?
Yes, thank you. I have your letter, Mr. Hickler.
Ah, you brought it.
As you asked.
Allow me. As arranged. You haven't kept a copy of that letter, have you?
Oh, as we arranged.
Good. Then we can speak quite frankly, since no one is compromised in any way.
Mr. Hickler, you have the advantage of me in this business. You know who I am. Who are you?
I'm a man with something to sell.
Business. Always business. That's why I'm on the way to the continent. You too, Dr. Thorndyke.
Well, I'm representing a shipping line at the court of inquiry at Harwich, sort of watching brief.
But nothing exciting, huh? No robbers? No criminals? No murderers?
I'm afraid not this time.
No, can't be like this all the time. Tell me, Doctor, where is this magic box that I'm always reading so much about? That's it? What has I got to see it? You know, from what I hear, the police, they don't give no big cheers when you're showing them how the murders and all this is done, no?
Well, no, I'm afraid they're not always as enthusiastic as they might be.
Well, come on, Doctor. Let me see these wonderful things.
All right, Mr. Brodski. Now, wait. These are bottles of fixative, various useful spirits.
Yes?
Yeah. Here we have, various medical instruments. And, my tweezers. wait. Spirit lamp?
Yes?
Yes. And...
Aha, and a microscope.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, well, of course. About this, I know a little in my trade.
But of course.
Yes. Huh? You allow me?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Tell me, is this a good one?
Yes, low and moderate magnification. Yes, sir, excellent.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And with this, you catch all the criminals, no?
Well, let's say some of them.
Well, sir, since you have brought me here under, well, let me say, unusual circumstances, I take it you mean business.
I always mean business, sir.
I see. And in the course of that business, you come across something you think will interest me. Yours?
It is now.
You brought me down here for this?
Isn't it worth something to you?
I want to know its history.
It has no history, it exists. I want to sell it. Do you want to buy it?
Oh, Mr. Hickler, you must know that no one stone is like another. This one is fairly valuable. A couple of 100 sovereigns, perhaps. Someone will know what it looks like. I could not sell it as it is.
You could cut it?
Possibly, but I don't think so. It would involve a considerable risk. Some third party would have to be brought into the business. Even if he did not know who you were, he would have to know who I was. Well, you'll soon be time for my train. Thank you for writing to me. I'm sorry we could not do this.
There's no hurry. You've plenty of time, and I'll walk with you to the station.
There is no need. I can find my own way back.
Do you resent the fact that I approached you direct?
No, it's simply that you should know better. I am a reputable diamond broker. This sort of thing, it's really not worth my while. However, don't worry. I will respect your confidence. You'd be surprised how often I made this kind of offer.
Well, I'm sorry we couldn't do business together, Mr. Brodski, but at least I didn't bring you far out of your way, did I?
I don't follow you.
Well, you simply caught an earlier train, that's all, didn't you? You were on your way to the continent in any case. Without your regular travelling companion, Mr. Boscovich.
What do you know of Brodski?
Oh, just that you're friends, that's all.
Well, I wouldn't try that stone on him if I were you. He ain't run a mile. He's an honest man. There are some, you know, Hickler.
Not like us, eh, Mr. Brodski?
You speak for yourself. Thing I'm not happy about. That on this trip I don't got with me all the time my friend Brodski. Listen, you must have heard of him. Oscar Brodski. The very big man in diamonds. Very big. I'm little when you're putting me up against him. But Oscar, hey, what a brain he's got, so cool. Is he? Just show him a diamond, that's all. Just show him a diamond, and he'll tell you what it's worth. He'll tell you what its history. I tell you, this man is a genius with diamonds. You can believe me, Dr. Jarvis.
Yes, I'm sure.
I know you will like him, Dr. Thorndyke.
I'm going to have the pleasure of meeting him.
But certainly, he's getting on this train at Applebury. That's the last stop before Hereford. You see, he had some business to do down here. Then we gone together to Amsterdam.
Brodski,
Yes.
you're carrying diamonds on your person?
Me? No. I sent them on ahead by special courier. I never carry diamonds unless I absolutely have.
Very wise.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do you think, I'm a fool? Believe me, I don't take risks I don't have to. Mind you, you've got to trust your courier. Now, my friend Oscar Brodski, he don't trust no one, only himself.
Still too early to go. We'd only be kicking our heels at the station. There are a few amenities there. You time for a cigar. I assure you they're very good.
No, thank you. I will smoke one of my own cigarettes.
Just as you please.
Fine catalytic here. And never smoke anything else.
Well, if you excuse me, I'll put on my boots.
Of course. But you really don't need to go out with me.
No, I insist. Help yourself to one.
As you wish. Very quiet here.
Yes.
I wonder you can stand it.
I'm very fond of my own company.
To me, it would be like death. What happened? I heard a scream.
It was the train whistle. You nodded off and it woke you.
Oh.
Something worrying you, Mr. Brodski?
No. I was looking at your stick pin.
Oh,
Yes.
it's rather splendid, isn't it? A relative left it to me in a will. I would appreciate your opinion on it, Mr. Brodski.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure. you did. Either your relation is very poor, or he don't love you so much.
Oh, Mr. Darklebury. Oh, thank goodness.
But are you tired, Dr. Jarvis?
Yes, I am.
Well, you see, what you got to learn to do is to smash 40 wings whenever you can. You know, just like I did. You've got to learn to do this whatever the distraction.
I only wish I could. Your friend, Mr. Brodski, joins us here.
Yes, he's a clever man. I know you will like him. the deals that man has pulled off. I could tell you that. Dr. Jarvis, please.
Yes.
I know you
The driver's getting down from the engine.
But what's happened? Has it been an accident? Follow me. In here. Sorry, sir. Oh, it's you, Mr. Hickler. I didn't know anybody was here. That's all right. Go on, boys. There's been a terrible accident on the line, sir. Somebody hurt. Dead. Well, I'm terribly sorry to inconvenience you, sir, but I'm afraid I must ask you to wait outside on the platform.
What was it, the Harwich train you was wanting, sir?
No, I was just meeting a friend on it, if he's been able to come.
Ah, I see, sir. All right, men, well, we'd best get the train in now. There's nothing more we can do. The police will be wanting statements from you two.
I saw him lying there, but I couldn't break her in time.
Yes, I know.
I was breaking her for the station, only half a mile up the line.
Yes. Now, we'd better get the train in, eh, boys? Come along. Now, you'd better stay here with the deceased. I'm sorry about all this, sir.
Quite all right. Suicide?
Well, it looks like it, sir. What's happening now, Thorndyke?
They've carried the body onto the station.
Poor fellow. He must have been in a bad way to take his own life like that.
Yes, it's a very dismal business, I entirely
I
agree.
think I'll take a walk down there.
Oh, no, you mustn't do that, Thorndyke. The train might go on without you or something.
Oh, I don't think so. The driver isn't back yet. I'll see you at the station.
I do well.
Oh, and take care of the box.
The police should be here by now. They haven't got more than a couple of miles to come.
You said to the police already?
As soon as there was an accident, I telegraphed. Here they are. Sergeant.
Got over as soon as I could. Here, Constable, take this damn thing. In there, is he?
Yes, well, I didn't know what to do, so I had him taken in there.
Oh, that's all right. I've got a doctor coming over, but he won't be here for a couple of hours.
Ah.
Well, we'd better go in and take a look, eh? You can tell me all about it in there.
Excuse me, sir. The station master about?
He's in there, sir, with the police.
Ah, the property of the deceased, I imagine. Excuse me. Constable, will you give my card to your superior officer and say that I wish to speak to him on an important matter?
One moment, sir, if you please.
Go.
Nasty business, sir.
Indeed it is.
Suicide, they seem to think.
I would think it a little early to decide, sir.
An accident, you suppose?
Possibly, sir. Possibly.
Will you come in, Doctor?
Thank you.
Dr. Thorndyke? Detective Sergeant Dickens.
Ah, how do you do?
It's a bad business, sir.
I picked this umbrella up on the line. I'm presuming it to be the property of the dead man.
Thank you, Doctor, but you need not have bothered. I'll be making my inspection as soon as the train's clear. I'll put it here beside his bag.
Traveling bag?
Yes, I've had a look in it. There's nothing there.
The train should be here now. It's going to be late into Harwich. They're holding the boat for it.
Messi?
I've seen worse.
You know who he is?
Well, his wallet has got several visiting cards in it. The name is Oscar Brodski.
Are you sure of that?
Well, that's what the card says. Why, do you know him?
No, he was meeting a traveling companion of mine.
Oh, this person can identify him for sure?
Yes. Poor boss.
Oscar.
Address is Hatton Garden. He's a diamond merchant. So was Oscar Brodski.
That could change things, sir.
Yes, he could.
Doctor, in your professional capacity, could you examine him for me? Purely unofficially, you understand. The police surgeon's out on another job. He won't be back for a couple of hours. I would consider it a favour, sir.
Certainly, Sergeant. Anything to help.
Thank you, sir.
Will you excuse me a moment, Sergeant? Station master! Get a Mr. Boscovich and a Dr. Jarvis off the train, will you? They're in the third compartment down to the engine.
Very good, sir. Well, who shall I say once?
Say Dr. Thorndyke wishes them both to come over here at once.
Very good, sir.
Well,
Yes?
Porter,
Yes, sir.
you spoke to the driver of the train when you brought the body down.
Oh, yes, sir.
And did he tell you how it happened?
Sharpie Spencer, half a mile up the line. He fought with a man from his life, but he couldn't do nothing.
How was he lying?
He said on his face, sir, by the near rail on the downside. I've seen a suicide like that before, sir.
Well, he must have crossed the fields to get there.
Well, somebody did, Sergeant. Huh?
This way, gentlemen, please.
Ah, Mr. Boscovich. Mr. Boscovich, this is Detective Sergeant Dickens of the County Police. Mr. Boscovich, you were meeting Oscar Brodski here, were you not?
Yes, that's right.
Could this possibly be his traveling bag and his umbrella?
Yes, it is. That?
I'm afraid so. I'm very sorry. Believe me, Mr. Boscovich.
Mr. Boscovich, I have a painful duty to perform. I must ask you to identify Mr. Brodski.
Must I do this?
I'm afraid so.
And if I must?
Hey! Is that Mr. Oscar Brodski, sir? Sir, would Mr. Brodski be carrying any valuable merchandise on him?
Yes. Yes, he would have diamonds with
What
it.
value?
I told him, but he wouldn't listen.
I see. Thank you, sir.
I told...
Now, come on, let's go. Sit down, man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hickler. Oh, your friend come, sir?
No, he didn't, I'm afraid.
Oh, just as well, sir. No sort of a joyride for them as travelled on the train, sir. Terrible, terrible. You know, the 8:30's never been late in all the years I've been on the station, sir. Terrible.
I suppose they are sure it's suicide.
I'm sure I can't say what they're sure of, sir.
No, of course not. Silly of me to ask. Well, I'll be getting home. Good night, guys.
Oh, good night to you, sir.
Well, Mr. Boscovich, it's no use upsetting yourself. Yes.
I said to him, I said, Oscar, one of these days you'll be carrying a lot of valuable stones. Poor
Now, Mr. Boscovich, you mustn't jump to conclusions. Now, here, drink this. Go on.
Well, one thing's fact,
Yes?
this was not an accident.
Why do you say that?
This man might have even the outside edge, deaf or stupid, have climbed over the fence and got knocked down by the train. But his position, lying across the track, can really only be explained by one of two hypotheses. Either it was suicide, or he was already dead.
Already dead?
Huh.
Look, sir, I've got no authority to do a post-mortem or anything of that sort. I simply asked you for your medical opinion as to the cause of death.
That I cannot immediately give you.
Oh?
And I'm not going to perform a post-mortem. I simply wish to take a few samples.
Samples, sir? No.
Exactly, samples.
Samples. Oh, we haven't got his hat. Constable,
Yes, Sergeant.
you'd better get back up the line to the place of death. Keep watch there and look out for his hat.
Yes, Sergeant. How long for, Sergeant?
Until I tell you to stop, man.
Yes, Sergeant.
We won't see anything up there tonight.
You could take laps.
Yes, that's a possibility, but why not wait till morning?
Will the murderer, if there is a murderer, wait till morning?
That's a pretty thought, sir. Mr. Bryce.
Yes?
Could you get us some lamps? We're going up the line.
Oh, now?
In a few minutes. The constable's just gone ahead.
Ah, right you are, and I'll see to it right away.
Thank you.
Porter. Porter, I want 4 big lamps. Now, see that the wicks are all right and make sure there's plenty of oil in them.
Yes, Mr. Bryce.
And you better go with them. They might wander onto the up line, and one accident's enough to be going on.
Yes, Mr. Bryce.
Now, Mr. Boscovich, you're going to be all right, but I really think we should find you a hotel for the night.
The families, they were very close together in the old country. I don't think Oscar has got any relatives left.
Well, don't worry about that just now.
Oh, station master.
Yes, sir.
Is there a hotel or anything nearby? I'd like to get Mr. Boscovich to bed. He's been badly shot.
Oh, well, there's the inn, sir. They always take a gentleman. It's just across the road, sir.
Oh, very well. Well, can you get Mr. Boscovich across there and take his luggage, will you? All right, Mr. Boscovich, I shall be able to see you later, but just you get to bed tonight.
Thank you. You're very kind, Doctor.
Well, ma'am, what are you waiting for?
Well, it's not exactly my job, sir. You see, I'm the station master. I'm not supposed to leave the station.
Well, where's your porter fellow?
Well, he's getting the lamp, sir.
Oh, get on with it, man.
Oh, well, very good, sir. Porter! Porter! Take this gentleman across to the inn. Now, he'll be staying the night.
But you said I was to do the lamps, Mr. Blood.
Yes, all right. I'll see to the lamps. Go on, man.
Oh, right then. The foreign gent, is it?
Yes, it is. I'm going to move on now. This gentleman's not feeling too well.
Yes, sir. Right.
Come along, Mr.
Come along, sir. Now, don't you bother. We'll get you to bed. You'll be all right, sir. That was a nasty shock for you, that was, sir. Your friend dying like that. I know. I remember how it felt when my dear old grandfather died.
Oh, stop chattering and get a move on.
This way, sir.
Oh, dear. It's very difficult getting the right staff, sir. He's very familiar, that one, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Don't be, station master.
Ah, Jarvis, just in time.
Oh, what are you doing?
Just what I was going to ask Dr. Thorndyke, sir.
I'm merely going to look into the mouth.
Ah,
What are these? The spectacles found near the body. The driver brought them in.
I see.
Broken, as you observe. Ah. Now trouble you for the lens, please, Jarvis. Sure. Yes. Tweezers. There. Put that under the microscope, will you, Jarvis? That's a good fellow.
Yes.
A drop of claret first.
Thank you.
Ah, a fibrous material containing jute. Possibly chenille.
found out what he had for dinner, sir?
Sergeant, this man shows some signs of suffocation.
What?
And what he had to eat, his last meal, could be very significant.
He was killed. Surely that's the significant thing.
No, just one of them. Now then. Ah? Jarvis. Yes. Shortly before his death, Oscar Brodski partook of some kind of wholemeal biscuit, composed partly of oatmeal.
Sir, with respect, the question we have to settle is not what refreshment the deceased had been taking, but what was the cause of death. Did he commit suicide? Was he killed by accident? Has there been foul play?
No, sir. The questions that remain to be settled are, who killed Oscar Brodski, and were the diamonds the only motive?
Here we are, sir. Now, come on. Just you sit down here a minute. You'll be all right, sir. There.
Thank you.
Oh, evening, Mr. Ixler, sir.
Evening.
Landlord about, sir.
Through the other bar, I think.
Oh, right, sir.
Can I have your brandy, sir?
What?
Brandy?
Oh, no. Thank you. I have to be very careful. It's my heart, you see.
I'm sorry.
The dead man. He was my best friend.
Again, I'm sorry.
We are fortunate, Thorndyke being with us.
Thorndyke?
He will find out that this terrible thing happened.
Dr. Thorndyke?
Poor Oscar. What a way to end.
Does Dr. Thorndyke think he took his own life?
Who knows? But the good Lord.
Now, here are the lamps, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
Now, will you wait for my porter, or will you go on alone? Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's a telegraph message for you, Sergeant, from the Chief Constable. It's in my office.
Oh, very well. If you'll excuse me.
Certainly. Jarvis. Is there anything unusual about this tobacco?
No?
Fine cut lacquer. Very unusual.
Yes. Have you a theory yet?
Noticed a small wound just above the left temple.
Yes.
Oh, it's a glancing wound and might easily have been caused when the train ran over him. But the wound had bled. And it had bled for an appreciable time. Blood was firmly clotted and partially dry. Now, we know that the dead man does not bleed. So, we conclude...
But the wound must have been inflicted sometime before death.
Exactly. But not only had the wound bled, the blood had trickled down in two streams at right angles to one another. The first, in order of time, judging by the appearance of the stream, trickled down the side of the face and dropped on the collar. The second stream ran from the wound to the back of the head. Now, we know, my dear Jarvis, that there are no exceptions to the law of gravity. If the blood ran down the face towards the chin, the face must have been upright at the time.
Of course.
And if the blood ran from the front to the back of the head must have been horizontal and the face upwards.
Upwards, yes.
But this man, when he was seen by the driver of the train, was lying face downwards. Now, the only possible inference is that when the wound was inflicted, he was in the upright position, standing or sitting, and that subsequently, and while he was still alive, he lay on his back for a sufficiently long time for the blood to have trickled down to the back of his head.
Yes, I see.
Tell me, what do you notice about that face?
Well, there certainly are suggestions of asphyxia.
It's the face of a suffocated man.
Yes.
Observe how completely these facts and inferences agree with those from the scalp wound. If we knew that this man had been struck a blow on the head, had struggled with his assailant, and had then been borne down and suffocated, we should look for precisely those signs.
That material you found wedged between the teeth.
Curtain or rug of inferior quality, I'd say,
And its significance?
is that if it is not part of an article of clothing, then it must have formed part of an article of furniture. And furniture suggests a habitation.
Yes, that doesn't seem very conclusive.
It doesn't, but it's valuable corroboration.
Of what?
Of the inference drawn from the soles of the dead man's boots. Now, look. Not a trace of sand, earth, or grit, in spite of the fact that he must have crossed fields and rough ground to reach the place where he was found. What we do find is fine tobacco ash, a charred mark as if a cigar or cigarette had been trodden on, several crumbs of biscuit. My suggestion is that he was killed in a house and was then carried or dragged from thence to the railway.
Well, in that case, the problem is practically solved. There must be abundant traces inside the hut. Yes, the only question is, which house is it?
Quite so. A glance at that interior would doubtless solve the entire mystery. But how are we to get that glance? We cannot enter houses speculatively to see if there are traces of murder. For the question is, you remember, who killed Oscar Brodski?
Come along, sir. I'll get you up to your room now.
No, I don't want to be on my own. I'll just stay here if you don't mind.
Oh, just as you like, sir. I've taken your bags upstairs.
I don't know whether I'm such a terrible thing to us. But if somebody done it, I hope he never finds the rest. I hope he dies the same way.
Why, if any man did that, he'd be many miles away by now.
Don't I know you? No, from before tonight, I mean, in Hatton Garden. Haven't I seen you there?
No, sir, you haven't. Good night.
These pieces of glass, this frame, they fit the spectacle. And now look, there are also a large number of minute fragments. Now, what happens when spectacles are dropped?
Well, I should say they break into a few fairly large pieces.
Exactly, like this.
Yes, indeed.
But what about the minute fragments?
Yes. What do you suggest?
Well, obviously that when the spectacles fell and broke, some of the pieces of glass were crushed, trodden on. Now, if the body was carried here, the probability is that the spectacles were carried here also, and that they were already broken. For it's far more likely, is it not, that they were accidentally trodden on during the struggle, than that the murderer would have deliberately trodden on them after he'd brought them here.
Agreed.
Then you see the importance of picking out every fragment.
Yes, I suppose so. Oh, come on, Constable.
Every fragment, sir?
Every one, I'm afraid, Constable.
Yes, sir.
11, 10. See, there are far too many pieces of glass here to fill these spectacle frames. And you will observe that some of the pieces are thick and curiously curved, as though they form part of a cylinder and are, I should say, portions of a wine glass.
I see.
I'm sure you do, Sergeant. Tell me, did you find the hat?
Search the line. It's not here.
Constable, is there a road nearby?
Only a path, sir.
Well, is there a house on this path?
Not on it, sir.
Well, near it. Is there a house near it?
There's only one house anywhere near here, sir.
Very well. Sergeant, lead us to it.
Right you are, sir. This way.
This is the house, sir. This way, sir. Round the back.
Oh, what's this thing here? Had a broken my ankle on it.
Don't enter it away, Sergeant. That's a useful weapon. All right, Sergeant, carry on.
Well, there's no one at home.
Try the door.
Straight out here, Constable. This is illegal entry, sir.
The lamp, please, Sergeant.
What?
Whose is this car?
Mr. Hitler, sir.
Hitler?
Yes, sir. You spoke to him on the station.
Ah. Microscope, please. Now, will you check this with the other fibre? The sample taken from the teeth of the deceased.
Yes.
Identical?
Exactly.
Sergeant, I should note this cloth. Brodski was choked with it sometime during the struggle. Wholemeal biscuits.
Well, I'm damned.
Will you look in the dustbin outside, Sergeant?
What am I looking for, sir?
Glass, small pieces of glass, the remains of a wine glass.
Right.
And now the hat. Jarvis, what would you do with a hat you didn't want? Had to get rid of urgently, no traces.
Well, I suppose I'd burn it.
Excellent. Oh, fortunately. Ah! Fine cut here. Now then. Matches.
It smells like varnish.
Shellac. The best hats are made of rabbits' and hares' wool cemented with shellac. Try it under the microscope.
Yes.
Yes?
Several.
Now there's only the glass.
Watch your fingers, Constable.
Here.
Out of a wine glass, sir.
Mr. Rickler.
I knew he'd come if he thought it was a bargain, so I tempted him with that. Then I killed him with the whetstone. The first time I ever used violence in my life.
For what?
Well, that's your state. Anything else to say?
Your stopper comes in after the express goes through, Sergeant.
Right, thanks. Well, anything?
I must have been mad. I thought one big job and finished.
You want to sign this?
At the bottom.